Hi, Gravel by California here in Chatsworth. Ready to give you a gravel guide to one of my favorite rides around the San Fernando Valley, Oak Mountain. Now, if you've seen some of our other videos, you'll notice around the Los Angeles area, we keep coming across these Cold War sites. Now, there isn't one that is more complete than the one under Oak Mountain, with this huge campus and a number of installations that were ready to launch missiles. Another jewel is being in the middle of this ranch land, where signs of all urban life just disappear. It's a great little getaway, even though it's short. So, let's go. I started out of Stony Point Park for some warm-up miles with my friend Guy, who knows a lot of the ins and quite a few outs of the area. Chatsworth is a neighborhood featuring big properties with ranching, or big properties without. You turn up DeSoto, which is without a bike or horse lanes, where it terminates, leaving you with a stiff climb well into the teens, thanks to some rerouting of Browns Canyon over the years. You can enjoy the short downhill if you're able to look past having to climb it on the way back up. But after you cross the stream, the road soon shows its age. From the dip, it's almost a 5-mile climb to the last gate, averaging nearly 9%, but there's a lot of pain thrown in. The private road and no trespassing signs are confusing, but rest assured, you're free to pass through this area. You'll consider the first 2 miles flat, as it really kicks up after that, until you get a brief reprieve passing into Michael Antonovich Park. But after passing the gate, the next half mile is even tougher than the last. It's apparent as the climb eases up that you're coming across a place of note. Stop your Garmin, because this is the most extensive Cold War site I've come across, in part for this being the first ready to launch both Hercules and Ajax missiles. In service from 1957 to 1974, the many bullet holes and wanton destruction came after from LAPD training exercises that I hope went well. Tesla. Still, it's amazing to see how extensive the launch site is, and you can even try your luck climbing down into the silos looking for spare projectiles. The facility even continues on the other side of the road, which held the living quarters. But wander around and there's even more to explore. Now, even though I've been here many times before, I've never gone across the whole facility because the other sites are a lot smaller. So I predicted this to be about the same size, but the scope of everything, even the dog pound? This was also the first site to employ sentry dogs. Who let the dogs out? As well as what we're calling a water filtration system, if soldiers had to gut it out during a nuclear winter.
Kind of filtered out into this thing, and then it drains off over there in a little reservoir.
I think this is something from a James Bond movie. I think like he, like Moonraker, right? Pulls him out at the right time. Things look a little rosier returning onto Palo Salo Truck Road. Even with a flattish quarter mile in the middle, the last 2 miles averaged 11%, testing the bounds of steady camera work. Don't be surprised early on if some of the locals begin to eye you. Wait, guy, what do we do? You just split up?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm authorized to shoot a picture of you unless you say moo. Okay. Once again, you're allowed to ride on this part of the road as long as the cows don't oppose. The peak of Oat Mountain comes in and out of view, but I'm enjoying this unique opportunity to ride in this much open space, even as it comes under the cost of climbing. The reprieve is timely, not only from a recovery sense, but also to stabilize the scenery for a bit. You can get by without a gravel bike up here, if you can forgive the shoddy conditions, but it also lets you explore some of its short off-road features, like this picturesque tree featured in many movies, including the Transformers series. You see a lot of roads you wish weren't prohibited from reaching Simi Valley, but you still have a little road ahead of you. We avoided today the big herd that lingers around here, but the last kilometer is highlighted by, why am I doing this steepness averaging 13%, while noting the potholes you'll be riding over on the way down. The yellow gate marks the restricted zone, and you'll be ready to flip back around because of your eagerness to adjust your altitude in the opposite direction. It's easy to get sucked into these wonderful different perspectives, but you do have to keep your head on a swivel for drivers even behind the locked gate. Exiting out of the park, unless you got a KOM climbing on a road bike, you'll be happier with the fatter tires finishing it off. Remember that short final climb still remains, but you'll be maxing out soon as your venture into Browns Canyon ends. So, even though mile-wise it's not a lot, with the views and all those steep climbs, it's going to take a lot longer than you think. I suggest trying to make it out in springtime The temperature's a little bit cooler, and the grass is greener, and you'll see the occasional poppy. So please subscribe to Gravel Bike California. If you want to find out about more routes like these, check out our gravel guide map section in our webpage, or subscribe on Patreon, where we have additional gravel guides, where we bring you more from the state of dirt.